welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today's episode, we are talking about the impatience problem. Are you the kind of person who just needs it now? It's my money and I want it now kind of person, right? Like the kind of person who's just like, this red light is driving me nuts, I'm just going to go through it. The person who's like stop signs, who got time for that? What kind of person are you? Are you the kind of person who can sit there for hours and hours and hours as other people just blab and blab and blab on, and you're just waiting for your chance to say your one little thing, right? What kind of person are you? Because in the world of business, I have found, and this may not be universal truth. It's just kind of my observations of different business owners, big and small, lots of money, no money, and, big businesses and small businesses. I see the people who are impatient are the ones who are more successful, with a big old asterisk next to that. See, the people who are impatient are the kind of people who want to get going. They want to make something happen. They're going to go make the deal. They're not going to wait for someone to stop talking. They're going to just talk right over you. They want to get their thing out then as quick as possible because they're impatient. All right. The big old asterisk comes from the fact that if you don't take enough time to make sure that things are done right, it can create problems for you. For example, maybe you didn't think of the fact that you needed insurance for an event you were putting on, and now something happened at the event and you're personally liable. And like, if you'd only spent the extra 5 minutes thinking about what else can we do in order to get this event going, you'd have thought, oh, well, what about insurance? You call up the insurance agent. They're going to tell you the quote. You pay the money. They give you the insurance, right? It is what it is. But if you are too impatient and you're just too hardcore on the rush, and you're just trying to get stuff done as quick as you can, you might miss that stuff. Okay. So it's this kind of interesting dilemma where impatient people get a lot done really fast, but if they're not cautious, then they create issues for themselves. Now, on the flip side of that coin, the patient people, generally, I would say the patient people, they tend to go much slower, and they don't tend to get the results that they're hoping for. And it's probably because they are almost too willing to, the expression, nice guys finish last. Right. And if you think about that, it's because the nice guy is standing right in front of the finish line. No, come on, you go ahead. No, it's all right. You go ahead. Yeah. And I think patient people are a lot the same way. They're sitting there waiting for everybody else. It's okay. You go and finish what you got to do. As long as the job is done right, that's the most important thing. Right. That's not necessarily true. You've heard me, if you've watched the show, use this expression that done, not pretty. You got to get it done. Worry about pretty later. Now, I will say, in my personal opinion, pretty is the more important aspect. It has to look pretty, otherwise it won't sell. It won't, impress people. It won't give people the confidence in you and your brand and wanting to work with you. However, if you don't have it done at all because you're so focused on making it pretty, and you're being patient and slow and meticulous and making sure everybody gets things in and giving time for redos and all that, if you're taking too long, you're never going to get it done. And the person who was impatient is like, screw it, let's just throw something in the marketplace and see what sticks. That person's in the marketplace. And anybody who's looking for this product, and if there's nobody else selling it because you're, over here being patient, this person's getting sales. And now once they're getting sales, they're dumping money into correcting all the issues that their customers are having that you're slowly trying to plod through yourself. But they've got lots of money to now burn through it because they made sales. And now they're making more sales. And now they're putting money into advertising. And they're making more sales and making more sales. And they're growing and growing. And you finally get to the point that you are now ready to start selling this beautiful product that has not been market tested. All right. You haven't tried to sell it yet. You don't know what the actual customers have to think about it. And so you got to put it out there. Well, you're now competing against this person over here whose product looks fantastic because they dump money into that. They're doing all kinds of marketing and advertising because they're dumping money into that, all because they started selling a while back. And now here you are, shoestring budget, because you've probably run well over your timetables, and it probably took you a little bit more money to make it look as good as you really wanted it to than you had originally budgeted for. And most of the time that money comes out of your marketing budget. So guess what? Now you don't really have any money to let the market know what you're doing. And you're like, hey, here's the most perfect product on the planet. Go buy it. And you don't understand why no one is buying it. Like, you're not asking people their opinion. You're not trying to figure out what's going on because of this mindset that seeps in that I took the time to do this right, therefore it's perfect. And too many people, and I personally don't like this expression, too many people make the perfect the enemy of the good. They're trying to make it the best they possibly can right out the gate without ever considering the fact that you and your opinion is pretty much irrelevant in terms of the market. The market's opinion matters most. The wallets of your customers is the most important thing in determining whether or not you have a good product. So here we have the impatience problem. Those people who start out and are just crazy hardcore about it are usually the ones who put out a product first, okay? And they usually are the ones who make a bunch of money on it because they were there first in the market, or they were able to capitalize on somebody's mistake because they were willing to act on it quickly. The patience problem comes in what if you're not 100% patient person, but you're not 100% impatient person. And you've got this thing that you're trying to do, and you're working with other people, and you're sitting there grinding your teeth, just waiting for things to happen. And you're causing yourself untold amounts of stress because, like, why can't we just do it? Why can't we start selling? Why can't we get this business going? Why can't we start doing that? Why can't we get this person contracted? Why can't we do this? And what's going to happen is you start to get really annoying in your business, like really, really annoying, because everybody who's trying to do their job is probably trying to do it quickly and the most effectively and efficiently they can, right? They want things to look good. They don't want to have junk products. And here you are like, why aren't you guys hustling? Why aren't we working faster? Why aren't we getting this out? And you're not, if you're not like the kind of person that they understand is always impatient, they see you becoming impatient when you're normally patient, then what they see is you having stress. Okay, because most likely that's where your impatience is coming from. If you're normally a patient person and you're turning impatient, it's most likely due to stress, not because of a personality trait of yours. And so these people who see you normally as a patient person are going to go, hey, this person's kind of a jerk lately. Like, is everything going okay with the business? And if they come to the conclusion, because they're talking to other departments, that things are not good with this business, they're going to start slacking, because there's nothing more likely to cause somebody to stop caring about the business that they're working at than the thought of the business no longer continuing. Because what's the point of working hard if this business is going to be gone in 2 weeks, 2 months, however long, right? What's the point of putting in all this time and effort and labor if the thing I'm currently working on is never going to come to fruition? If they're going to keep paying me just to show up and do this work, I'm just going to keep doing the work, right? So you really have to understand who you are. Like, remember, this is why I started this whole discussion with, who are you, right? Are you patient or are you impatient? Who are you going into your business? If you are just generally kind of an impatient person, rock it, do that, be that kind of person. Go ahead and let people know that you're impatient. Just don't forget to pay attention to the fact that you need to be cautious as well. Okay, make sure that everything is taken care of. Just be impatient about it. If you are a patient person, I'm going to tell you, don't be impatient. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to act differently. No one's going to respect you if you do that. Instead, find a business partner or hire somebody, a manager maybe, who's generally a little bit more impatient than you are. Delegate to them the duty of getting on people's butts. And they will, because that's the kind of person that they are, and they enjoy being their kind of person. And so, as just kind of a final word of warning, I want to say, patience and impatience is one of those things that can truly wreck a business. It should absolutely destroy a business, especially if you're impatient at the wrong times. Okay, maybe you want to do a business deal with somebody, and so you get on a call with them as you have an initial meet and greet, because deals don't get struck the very first time you get on a call with somebody. It just doesn't happen. And probably not the second time, because you're probably going to then have to go talk to their business partners as well, talk a little bit more concrete about what you're looking at. But the next call, okay, we'll discuss terms next call. So that's call number 3, okay? When you get on call number 3, you discuss the terms, maybe come to some like more hard agreements kind of stuff, and then you'll exchange contracts, and then back and forth on the contracts a few times, and then you sign them. Okay, so we're talking a couple weeks normally for this kind of negotiations. This isn't something that's going to happen right now. Well, if you go into this kind of negotiation with the understanding that it's probably going to take 2 weeks, and you're impatient about it and you're not willing to wait, you're like, hey, can we just get this deal done? I know I just met you, but I don't got time to do this BS back and forth. Here's the agreement, make it happen. People don't appreciate that. People like being wined and dined. They like having kind of that negotiation, getting to know you. Hey, business partnerships of all varieties. Partnership is no different than like a marriage or some sort of union of some type where two people come together. You have to understand that you're going to fit well together. You have to understand you're going to work well together. You don't just go into business with anybody off the street. You want to know who they are. So if you're going to be impatient in this kind of situation, you're probably wrecking your deals. Like if you, for some reason, are able to get calls with people, but then it just dies, probably impatience. Now, that's not sales. Okay. I'm talking about like business partnerships. If you're going off and trying to get money from people, expect that to take a little bit of time. If you are trying to sell somebody, you got to sell them on that call, because you're probably never going to get them on a call again. That's totally separate scenario. It's okay to be impatient in that situation. Just don't be more impatient than the customer, the client is willing to let you be. Okay, you have to kind of go at the pace of the customer to get them to the place. Totally separate than kind of the business relationship kind of deal I'm talking about. So that's what I got for you all today. I'm going to remind you all, organization is the enemy of sloth. Figure out your personality traits. I've discussed this on other videos, but take out a piece of paper. Do I have any blank paper here? Here, blank paper. Pull out a new piece. You pull out your piece of paper, okay? And you go in and you just write a pro-con kind of list and create your personality traits. What are you good at? What are you bad at? Am I patient? Am I impatient? Am I considerate? Am I inconsiderate? Like, what kind of person are you? That way you can figure out how best to grow your brand, how best to hire people, what kinds of things you need in order to make your business grow based on you. Okay, as the business owner, you're the bottleneck. You're the thing that holds your business back. And it's because of the things in the cons column of that sheet I just told you to make up. Those things are holding your business back. So either you're going to have to improve yourself, which most people aren't willing to do, or you have to hire somebody in order to be able to fill in the gaps that you have. Okay. And you can also hire other people to supplement and augment your strengths. Maybe you would do better, like maybe you're a graphic artist. Okay. Maybe you're really good at graphic art and that's the thing you prefer to do. Well, if you can get someone to create the ideas for you for the art and all you got to do is make it, maybe that's the thing that holds you back. Like, man, it takes me so long to come up with an idea, but if someone just told me, oh yeah, just draw it out, right? Well, you could hire someone to just come up with content ideas and now you just make the art and now you just pump pieces out. There's ways to be synergetic, okay? But if you're impatient, hire a patient person, work or get a business partner who is patient, who's able to go a little bit more slowly, okay? It's the turtle and the hare, tortoise and the hare. You kind of need both. All businesses need both. There's a fantastic book. Please, I don't know the author. It's called Thinking Fast, Thinking Slow. And it talks about this exact situation where there's two types of thinking. And when you have those two people working together, they create incredible results. So you have to know who you are. All right, everybody, that's what I got. Don't be just a gamer. Be a gamerpreneur.